If you guys are looking for a place to trade XRP and cryptos, check out crypto exchange BITUNIX. The link is in the description below. Yesterday was a big day as we had Ripple CEO and key members of the crypto space attending the Binance Blockchain Week, and we had Ripple CEO having a panel discussion talking about many things such as the XRP ETFs, as we do have the institutions opening up the floodgates and have opened up Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, XRP ETFs to the public. And we have BlackRock, Vanguard essentially going all in. Let's take a look at this video.
Do you think the ETF floor was overhyped?
Definitely no. Look, obviously what you were describing is all data correct, but I think you got to zoom out a little bit further and realize that this ETFs didn't exist because of the regulatory problems in the United States. They didn't exist, and in the last 2 or
now, if this is Richard Tang in the right, keep in mind he was a former Ripple member.
3 weeks, over $700 million have flown into XRP ETFs, which is just it's pent-up demand from institutional investors, from investors who want access because they don't want to custody themselves, what have you. But look, again, if you zoom out to the macro level, the total ETF market, only 1 or 2% of the total ETF market is crypto. I will bet anybody here that a year from now, that will be more than 1 or 2%. There's going to continue to be inflows, and yes, you can take a snapshot of time and say, okay, there's a billion left Bitcoin ETFs or whatever the data you cited a moment ago. But if you zoom out a little bit further and say, okay, over 2026, do we really think crypto ETFs are only going to be 1 or 2% of the total ETF market? No chance. And so that, again, it's one of those macro tailwinds where Ripple sits in a position where we see, particularly from our Ripple Prime, the prime brokerage business, we see a lot of interesting activity where institutions that have been on the sidelines, maybe because of regulatory clarity, maybe because of risk aversion, for whatever reasons they've been on the sidelines, they're getting it, and they're starting small, and they're going to walk, then they're going to crawl, then they're going to walk, then they're going to run, and I think it's going to create a lot of tailwind.
Right, so we will see the demand going from constant to parabolic. We have slow, then suddenly, and we also have Ripple CEO being extremely bullish in crypto in 2026, as we now have the biggest players entering the crypto space. And we have, during Binance Blockchain Week, Ripple CEO asked why bears are back, and instead of giving a boring market answer, he said the bears have it completely wrong. Right? Brad Garlinghouse is still bullish, and he says, I don't remember being this optimistic in here. So if you guys are shorting the market, please be careful, as Ripple CEO is bullish, and we are expecting parabolic moves in Q1 based on all of the insider information. Let's take a look at this video as well.
I think crypto has gone through cycles, and when you have risk on, people are excited. There are, now you have kind of a risk off moment. There's uncertainty. I personally will echo some of the things Richard said. There are so many macro factors that are continuing to provide tailwinds for this industry that I think as we go into 2026, I don't remember being this optimistic in the last handful of years, where you do have, as Richard said, regulatory clarity in the largest economy in the world. And I think people underprice this. 22% of global GDP is the United States, and this is a market that has been really openly hostile to crypto for 4 or 5 years, or maybe longer. And now you have that has changed significantly pretty quickly, but the institutions are still catching up with that to some degree. You saw Franklin Templeton on stage here, you saw BlackRock on stage. Just this week, I think Vanguard has now opened up, Vanguard historically has said, we won't touch crypto. And now they've had a massive sea change. That's just one of many things that are creating those tailwinds, and so I'm super optimistic about the year ahead. The last thing I'll say on this, which I think we'll also probably all agree about on this, is we are also seeing real-world applications where it's not just about the speculation. You're finding easier to use interfaces so that crypto isn't just about the speculation. It's about solving real-world problems. And to sustain that long-term optimism, that long-term bull market, I think you're going to see more and more of that.
Big stuff from Ripple CEO, and we have a price prediction as well for Bitcoin.
26.
All right, where's the prediction?
I'll go out on the limb and I'll say Bitcoin 180,000 December 23rd or December 31st, 2026.
All right, where's the prediction market around that now?
Yeah.
It'll be live in 2 seconds.
I'll go out on the
right, a $180,000 Bitcoin. Now keep in mind we had Ripple CEO also predicting a $5 trillion market cap this year, but it seems like he is wrong, right? I believe that prediction was for 2024, and unfortunately that did not happen. Now, we do have this theory as well. We had David Schwartz hinting at a $2 XRP. We also have 2022, and we have both from Ripple CEO and David Schwartz hinting at a 10x, a 1,000%. So if this theory comes true, with XRP hitting $2, we should see XRP hitting the $20 next. We had a retest of the $2 mark a couple of days ago. And we have a delta coming up from David Schwartz. Again, we had 10 times the bubbles. We have a 10x. And a delta is on 1223. And we have many XRP insider tweets, BG123, hinting at Christmas. So by December 23rd, by this delta, could we see a 10x happening to XRP? Could we see a 10x happening to XRP's price? And so we could see a $5 trillion market cap this year if that happens. Now, we had some very bullish things happening in the charts today. We had a buy signal on the MACD, and now we have a buy signal being confirmed on the RSI stochastic. So this means that we should see the price of XRP continuing to move up. We have a big chance of doing so, and ultimately what we have to do is break above this trend line over here for the XRP bull run to begin. We have Bitcoin as $93,000, Ethereum at $3,200 right now. The crypto market is recovering, which is great to see. And we have a very big crypto analyst. He talks about a $60,000 Bitcoin over the next 6 months, which is possible. As said by the XRP Insider, stay in until 2026. And so we do have the technical analysis from Wasey. And we are expecting this move to happen for Bitcoin. Price targets at 117,000 and 139,000. Ultimately, Bitcoin retesting this trend line over here. And this will most likely happen as this coincides with the anonymous price prediction of a $140,000 Bitcoin happening in March as well. So the question is, guys, do we have the top of the market happening in Q1? If it is, then that is a pretty short bull market. Actually pretty long, as with the bull market starting in 2023. We can see we have from Anonymous, March 2026, 142,000. By January, we should see a $99,000 Bitcoin. So it doesn't seem like we will see anything too crazy from Bitcoin this month. But lastly, we have Satoshi Era Whale buying 33,000 Bitcoin after 15 years of dormancy, spending $3.1 billion to buy Bitcoin on multiple wallets, right? So with this insider buying a ton of Bitcoin, it seems like the bottom is in, and we are indeed in the beginning of the bull run again. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.